Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is a Friday, the 22nd day of May. It's National Craft Distillery Day. It's also World Paloma Day. It's National Maritime Day, National Solitaire Day. You're the one that got me started on that.
I like solitaire.
I got that on my phone now. I haven't played it in a long, long time, but I used to, every once in a while, get bored. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to play solitaire. Then like 9 hours later, I'm like, what have I been doing all day? National Buy a Musical Instrument Day, National Vanilla Pudding Day, National Don't Fry Day, and National Cooler Day. It's also a National Road Trip Day. A lot of things going on this Friday, the 22nd day of May. And I have comedian Mo Mandel joining me. Very, very funny guy, by the way. And we got this hashtag comedy call today to chat about his new program called Small Town Throwdown. It premiered this week on Discovery Channel. And Small Town Throwdown is kind of a cool thing because there are like these lists, like the stinkiest town and, you know, the most boring town. And he's going to these towns and like giving them a chance to redeem themselves. Really kind of a cool thing. Fun stuff. Going to be chatting with them all about it in a bit. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey from the University of Florence found that 81% of couples do not intend to conceive a baby during the coronavirus lockdown. They don't intend to. Okay. So 81% of couples are going, no, we're not doing that. Here's why. Because they spend a lot of time with each other during, and they're like,
yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
You're like, okay, we got, you get the two sides of the house. You get your side, I get my side. Your side is the outside, my side is the inside. How's that sound? No? Probably not. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. A Florida woman was busted after repeatedly trying to kiss strangers in a bar. Then called 911 5 times to complain patrons were not remaining socially distant in the bar. 32-year-old Audra Adams wound up getting arrested for trespassing when she refused to leave the Monkey Bar and Grill. Police showed up after a fourth 911 call. Before then, customers at the bar complained to the owner that, hey, she's trying to kiss people. Owner requested her to leave. She reluctantly did finally leave the bar. They were serving booze and food under Phase 1 of Florida's reopening plan. She refused to leave the parking lot, though. She was charged with trespassing after a warning, disorderly conduct. Says here, resisting an officer was another thing without violence, and misuse of 911. So, had a lot of things that she was doing. So. But that is apparently what happens when her brain was on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Tiger King alert. We're going to get to a Tiger King story here in a bit. I just want you to be able to, tell all your friends. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first, acting couple Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix were going to be having their first child this summer. So they announced that last week, or maybe it was earlier this week. A source told Page Six that Mara has been pregnant for up to 6 months. So far, there's been no confirmation from either person or their representatives, but, an inside source. Now, Tiger King news. First story. 2 handwriting experts say the signature of Tiger King star Carol Baskin's first husband on his will was forged. Don Lewis did not sign.
Nobody would have checked this a long time ago when the guy was missing.
I think that it just kind of, the family I know was saying that something weird was going on, but now it's come into question because of the TV show Tiger King and handwriting forensic experts. 2 different ones said this is a forgery for sure. And same lady, Carol Baskin from Tiger King, is now selling cool cat face masks. So you can get a face mask that.
Well, sounds like she's going to have some legal fees to pay.
Probably, I don't know what's going on there. She
needs to sell some stuff.
Probably, yeah. Cool Cats and Kittens. You can find the link in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Multiple buildings were damaged after an explosion rocked downtown Los Angeles last Saturday. So that's kind of weird. And then heading to the other side of the country, massive crowds filled the beaches in New York and New Jersey last weekend after locals grew tired of coronavirus lockdowns. There's people going, I'm going to the beach. Come arrest me if you want to. I don't care. I'm going. New York City attorney who represents Lady Gaga and Madonna and a whole bunch of other big, high-profile celebrities was hacked. And the files that were hacked are being held ransom for $21 million.
Oh, boy.
And they say, if you don't give us the money, we're going to start leaking this info.
And
there are a lot of people going, what info do you have? So I think that it's too bad that happened. But boy, you'd think if you were, a high-profile celebrity attorney, you'd keep better track of your stuff. Like, I wonder how that happened.
Well, they got hacked.
Well, I understand that, but you'd think they would have more precautions in place. I don't know. I just think it's a bad idea. Cindy Crawford's daughter is posting a bikini selfie with her arm in a blue cast after
happened?
what she called a little accident. So Kaya Gerber is the young lady's name.
She say?
Just said, I had a little accident, and she's got her arm in a blue cast. I don't know. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about it. It's just in the news.
Okay.
And that was the first bikini story. The second bikini story is this one. It is so weird. Summer's hottest female fashion, they say, is going to be this. It's a bikini which leaves the bottom part of a woman's cleavage, and the top part is covered, but the bottom part, hangs out. I don't get that. It looks to me like it doesn't fit, but I don't know. What do I know?
I've seen those people like.
What do I know about fashion? I mean,
you gotta have nice perky breasts to pull something like that off.
Well, then that cuts me out. I'm probably not going to be able to wear that, am I? A signed pair of Michael Jordan sneakers sold for $560,000 at Sotheby's auction house. That's over $500,000 for a pair of shoes. That is, let me think here. It's $280,000 per shoe.
What on earth are you gonna do with them? It's not like you're gonna wear them.
Probably not wear them. No.
Sit them somewhere and.
No, you're gonna adore them and say, "Look at those."
You could do so much for so many people.
But you know what? They did something for themselves, and whoever bought them most likely is not financing them. I'm sure they're probably doing okay. Adele, you know who that is, right?
Yes.
Adele has reportedly become good friends with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after the couple moved into her Beverly Hills neighborhood. That would be kind of interesting because she's British as well, so she's there and they're there, and it's like, hey, what's up? Want to get together for tea and crumpets or whatever? I don't know what that even is, but it does sound like I don't know, interesting neighbors. This has been your scoop of the day.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Heck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. SmallTownThrowdown.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. We have a guest today joining us for a hashtag comedy call. We have comedian Mo Mandel, and this week they premiered a new program on the Discovery Channel. It's called Small Town Throwdown. It just premiered this Wednesday on Discovery. Mo, tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. This is a show that really gives small towns around America that have been vilified and have notoriously bad reputation a chance to stand up for themselves and really tell their own story. You know, it's a response to all this kind of clickbait you find all around the internet now with like the ugliest town in America, the smelliest town. Well, now in this show, I actually go to those towns and kind of give them a chance to flip the script and, flex what they're all about.
And the thing that's really cool about that, some of my favorite places in the world are small towns. And you got just the greatest people that live in small towns. So I love the fact that you're kind of standing up for the little guy.
Exactly. I'm from a tiny town myself with 700 people, Boonville, California, the boonies, literally, in Northern California. It's a place that's always been ripped apart by towns around there. And growing up, I always loved the place. I always knew how special it was. As a comedian touring over the last 15 years, a lot of the places I've gone that people told me I'm going to hate, I ended up loving. I figured this is a chance for me to let those towns kind of, get the credit they deserve. And a cool little thing was now I'm writing articles in USA Today about each town so that we actually give them some good press for once.
That is fantastic. And that's an opportunity for these communities to shine in a positive way rather than just being on these lists that you're talking about that are not necessarily so flattering.
Exactly. And a lot of the times the people who are writing those lists have never even been to the town. They're just kind of going off some sort of statistics or maybe they're just looking for some perfect clickbait, and they know if you say, this is the dumbest town in America, people are going to click on it a lot faster than if you say, hey, it's a pretty nice little place.
So what are some of the most interesting things you discovered while filming this program?
So we went to a place called Lubbock, Texas, which is known as the most boring town in America. It's kind of funny because when you drive into the town, it does look not particularly exciting. It's very sort of bland-looking flat fields, there's a giant windmill museum is one of their top attractions, which sounds incredibly boring, although I went there and actually turned out to be kind of interesting to see all these windmills. But when I actually got to the town itself, the people there seemed to have like a completely different appreciation of things that they did for fun. It was rodeo. It was doing this sport called meat judging. They were really into glider planes, because apparently during World War II, Lubbock was like the home of training glider pilots.
Oh, wow.
Air quality down there is like perfect for glidering. So yeah, there's this whole glider culture, and they had this giant wine industry down there, which are things that you just would never think about when you think of West Texas, or at least I did. And it certainly never showed up in any of these most boring articles. And the people there, they were rightfully a little defensive. They didn't feel that their town was boring at all, and they were nice enough to take me along this journey. I thought the place was totally exciting, and everybody there just seemed to really value where they live.
So in filming this, did you find any communities that did live up to their bad title, or were they all kind of mislabeled?
So far, no. Although, what you got to do when you research this, we were looking at, what are towns with negative reputations, and then we try to do as much research as we can to be like, all right, is there something we're going to be able, that we think we're going to be able to find there? Probably if we went to all of them, there would be, but of course, when you're doing production, you got to kind of hedge your bet. So all the places that we went, we were really surprised and really impressed by. Another place that we went to is Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Which is known as the drunkest town in America, which is such a funny, thing because, half the people there were offended by that, and half the people kind of thought it was a compliment. They were like, oh, yeah, I'm the one who contributed to that. But I get to go to these places. I get to kind of, participate in some of the local activities. In Appleton, they do this thing called the polar plunge, where they jump into frozen water in the middle of January. They usually do it at the start of the year, and I was out there in the middle of January and actually did that with them, diving into this frozen river, 32 degrees or whatever, as cold as it could be, where you don't quite die, but you almost die. It was basically that. And as like a little honor for their kind of go for it extreme spirit, at the end of the episode, we built a giant slip and slide out of snow for people to go down into this icy river that people actually did, which was just incredible.
That is fantastic. Now, the program just premiered on Wednesday on the Discovery Channel. How often will we be seeing this?
That's all up to the COVID epidemic. This kind of started right after we had shot this. Got this special that's airing, and Discovery is airing it a lot. And then hopefully, as soon as we're all allowed out of our houses, we'll actually be able to get out there and film some more. Like you're saying, people are just hitting me up like nonstop down the internet suggesting their town, so we'll have a lot of fodder once we get to come back.
I got a list of them I can send to you.
right, please do. I'll make you a producer. All right, thank you very much.
Again, our guest today has been Mo Mandel. Small Town Throwdown just premiered Wednesday on the Discovery Channel. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Kitty cats once delivered mail in Belgium. Yeah, in the 1870s.
Really?
Attempting to employ 37 felines as mail carriers, messages were tucked into waterproof bags the kitty cats would carry around on their necks. However, while one cat apparently made it to the destination in under 5 hours, the other felines took up to a day to complete their journey. Due to the fact that the cats were not particularly reliable and definitely were not speedy, the service did not last very long. So, in the 1870s, for at least a day, cats were delivering mail in Belgium. So, now you know. 37 cats were employed. So, if you want to seem really smart when you see people, you can share that little fun fact.
Yeah, you can.
And I know people do that all the time. Thank you for letting me know about that. Thanks for listening as well to the John and Heidi Show.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline England. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London may never reopen. They say it may just remain closed. It was bankrupted by the coronavirus lockdowns, and they're going, we can't open. So unless somebody steps up and says, I absolutely want to save the Globe Theatre,
right,
it's going to just stay closed. And it would be really cool to see somebody who may be an actor or actress who got their start there,
right,
who steps up and says, you know what, because of my good fortune that started on that stage, I am going to help keep this thing going.
That's too bad.
It would be really cool to see that happen. So far, that hasn't happened, but, you know, one can hope. This has been a news headline from somewhere in this world.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. This could have probably fallen in my Brain on Drugs segment because it has to do with a bar, but really it fits here. It fits weird news. A Maryland bar unveiled an innovative solution to help patrons remain socially distant as they are reopening. They have to wear inner tubes on wheels. It's called Fishtails in Ocean City. They rolled out this new social distancing tables. And have you ever seen, like, when little kids are learning how to walk, they get in these things that have wheels on them and they walk around.
Walkers.
Yeah. It looks like that.
Okay.
It's just a giant cage with like an inflatable tube going around.
Okay.
And you walk around with this thing. And
Wow.
it looks really interesting. It says there's some video from their maiden voyage from last Saturday. It says, only at Fishtails can you find these special tables for social distancing. They're 6 feet apart. You can drink safely. Number of employees tested out the contraptions, wheeling them from the back of a truck onto the bar's property. The tables will be available for customers, it says, whenever we are allowed to serve. The woman recording the video said Fishtails, like many bars in the state, is open for takeout, on-site service at the restaurant, and right now in Maryland has been prohibited. So apparently they were actors that were in those. There's a video online. You can find a link to it. Like I said, I didn't know where else to put it, so it fit right here because that is today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
Bark, bark.
Hey, you! Holy cow! I should have been recording that or something. For what, like a month now? I've been pointing at her when I say insurance chicken. I say, when I say this, you need to cluck like a chicken. And Heidi was not playing that game. All I have to do is quit pointing, and now she is. This is an interesting story from Brandon, Manitoba, Canada. A man pulled up at a gas pump, tried to get gas, became angry because they wanted him to prepay for the fuel, used the gas nozzle that was in his hand instead of just putting it back in the thing, bashed the gas pump until it was broken.
Oh.
Smashed it up, then drove away. Well, they got you on video. They're looking for him. You can find the video on in our show notes if you want to see. Maybe you recognize the guy and say, oh, I know that guy. Whoever he is, he was not happy that he had to prepay for his gas. So he took off and went somewhere else. So I've got a link to it. It's in the show notes for today. It's definitely today's moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Heck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. This is a time where I read a little story, like a headline. Heidi has to tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Ready for this one, Heidi?
I am ready.
All right. How about this one? Fake news or Florida. The city of Lake Fort... Let me try this again. The city of Lake Fort Worth accidentally sent out a zombie alert on their Facebook page. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Yes.
I think I remember this one.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I think we did.
The sad thing is, this is not the only time that's happened. There have been numerous times. Now, this one was on their Facebook page. There have been others on the emergency alert system that you hear. And it sent out an actual zombie apocalypse alert, whatever. So that's not the kind of thing to mess with. I mean, don't goof around. And, you don't pretend to send fake alerts, because then when you have a real alert, people are not alert.
Yeah, they're not even going to pay attention.
Yeah. If you want to goof around and have fun, do it some other way. That's not fun. Thanks for listening to today's Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge, and I got to tell you, a huge thank you to all the folks who have been a part of that and making that just take off like crazy. Again, all the details can be found at giftcardchallenge.org. Here's your really cool good news for today. Here's the headline. FedEx driver and Tony Hawk help out a young skateboarder. So here's what happened. A FedEx driver helped make a dream come true for a 9-year-old boy in Georgia. Mikhail said the boy, Connor, ran after his delivery truck and asked him if he could mail a skateboard to Tony Hawk. Instead of refusing the unmarked package, Mikhail reached out through the world of TikTok. Tony Hawk saw the video and gave Mikhail his address to receive the boy's skateboard. Thanks to thank Connor for his thoughtful gift, Tony is going to send him his current skateboard.
Oh, wow.
So he said, hey, kiddo, thank you very much for doing that, bud. And I'm going to send you this one. It's the one I'm using right now, but I'm going to give it up. I'm going to give it to you. How cool is that?
That is super cool.
Yeah. By the way, for those of you who don't know who Tony Hawk is, he's
a pretty cool skateboarder.
He's got a little bit of experience in the skateboarding world. So,
and he was in one of my favorite movies.
Which movie
Gleaming
was that?
the Cube.
Really?
from the 80s. It was a great movie.
Was there any skateboarding in that
There was
movie?
a lot of skateboarding in that.
Yeah, it's kind of what I
Yeah,
thought.
it's a great movie.
I've got a link to that cool story. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. And also, thank you so much for choosing this radio station. I know there are a lot of choices. There are so many places you could go to get your entertainment and information and fun. And we appreciate that you choose this one. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.